Hey everybody, we're going to be looking at solving linear equations with different outcomes. So up to this point, we've looked at stuff that where there's only one solution for x. So what we've seen is stuff like x plus 3 is equal to 8, which means all we had to do is minus 3 on both sides to get x equals 5. And that was my one and only solution. Now we might get something that looks a little different. For instance, we might have something that looks like this. X plus 1 is equal to x. Now, if you look at this, it might look a little weird because there's not any solution that we can plug in for x that would be a true statement, because the left side is always going to be one more than the right side. So this is an example of no solution. We also have other examples that might look like this. If I have x plus 2 equals x plus 2, any number I plug in for x will make this a true statement. Therefore, we would say this is an example of infinite many solutions. So let's go ahead. These are all very basic problems. So the ones we're going to be looking at are a lot more complicated. So let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at these. So right now I have 3x plus 1 minus 3 times the quantity of x minus 1 equals 4. So let's go ahead and see what happens when I solve this. So the first thing I'm going to do is distribute that negative 3 to each term inside the parentheses. This will give me 3x plus 1 minus 3x plus 3 is equal to 4. So now when I combine like terms, I'm going to have 3x minus 3x plus 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. These x's are going to cancel. 3x minus 3x is 0. I'm going to be left with 1 plus 3 equals 4. So 1 plus 3 is 4, which equals 4. This is a true statement. Whenever you have a problem like this and you end up with two numbers that are equal to each other, so such as 4 equals 4 or 0 equals 0, your answer is going to be infinitely many solutions, because no matter what value you plug in for x, you're going to get a solution. So let's go ahead and look at this one now. This problem will look like, when I distribute this negative to each and every term, 3 minus 4b plus 2 is equal to 3 minus 4b minus 2. Now, if you notice, once we distribute that, they look very similar, but let's see when I simplify it further what happens. So first, I'm going to add 4b on both sides, and negative 4b plus 4b cancel. Negative 4b plus 4b also cancels. So I'm left with 3 plus 2 is equal to 3 minus 2. This would give me 5 is equal to 1, and 1 does not equal 5. That is not a true statement. Therefore, this is no solution. All right, let's go ahead and look at the next one. Before I even begin, I don't like dealing with these decimals, so I'm going to multiply each side by 10. When I multiply each side by 10, I should say each term by 10, I'm going to get 1 times 3t minus 8 is equal to 2 times, let me back up, 2 times t plus 5. So then when I distribute, I'm going to have 3t minus 8 is equal to 2t plus 10. Now right here, we know we're going to have a solution because on my equal sign, I have 2 t's here and 3 t's here. They're not the same amount. So therefore, I know it's going to have at least one solution. So when I minus 2t on both sides, I'm going to be left with t minus 8 is equal to 10. I'm going to add 8 on both sides to get t equals 18. And that's a one solution problem, so that's very similar from what we've seen in the past. Let's go ahead and look at one with an absolute value. This one's a little different than what we've seen, but it'll give us an idea of what's to come. So first what I want to do is I want to divide both sides by negative 7. That's going to make these cancel. I'm going to be left with the absolute value of x minus 2 is equal to negative 3. And all I'm going to do now is add 2 on both sides to get the absolute value of x is equal to negative 1. Now this is where students get stuck and they're like, oh, my two solutions are negative 1 and positive 1. But remember, the absolute value is saying what number can I plug in for x so my solution is negative 1. And in fact, remember, the absolute value of a number is the distance from that number to the origin, and distance can never be negative. Therefore, if I have absolute value of x equals any negative answer, your answer will be no solution. All right, I hope this video helped you guys out on your homework or your studying. If you have any further questions, please email me or your teacher. Have a great day.